Become courageous. Courage, my friend, is not the absence of fear. It's about mustering the strength to act despite our fear. Now that's where Stoicism steps in, offering us powerful tools to face our fears head on. Hey guys, Henry here from Our Freedom Formula. In today's video, we're speaking about how to become courageous with this ancient philosophy. Let's start by drawing from the wise words of ancient Stoic philosophers. Seneca once wrote, "Courage is not found in putting our bodies in danger, or braving death for the sake of it, but in our willingness to face things we find uncomfortable, whether that means saying what we think, doing what we feel is right, or carrying on when we'd rather give up. Courage is found in unlikely places." Seneca emphasizes that courage extends beyond the physical act of heroism. It resides in our ability to confront discomfort, express our opinions, act according to our values, and persist in the face of adversity. By recognizing that courage can be discovered in unexpected circumstances, we open ourselves to embrace it in all aspects of our lives. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us that courage can be discovered within the depth of our own hearts, waiting patiently for us to tap into its potential. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a daunting challenge, feeling fear welling up inside of you. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, like our thoughts, emotions, actions, and reactions. We can focus on breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, and doing those things one step at a time. By training ourselves to direct our energy towards what we can control, we gain the inner strength needed to face our fears. Epictetus once wrote, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them." Epictetus reminds us that it's not the external circumstances themselves that disturb us, but rather our interpretation of them. By choosing to reframe our perspective and focus on what we can control, we reclaim our power. Let's say you're giving a presentation at work, and anxiety begins to creep in. Stoicism encourages you to acknowledge that the outcome of the presentation is outside of your control. Focus on preparing to the best of your ability and delivering your message with authenticity. Realize that you are merely the vessel presenting the information, and the people are not judging you. Reframe it by saying to yourself that the people watching the presentation are probably glad it's not them having to do it. Also remember that they are not there to judge you. They are there for the information you present. What is within your control is how well you prepared for the talk and that you did your best. Realize that even if you stumble and forget what you're about to say, you did your best, and that's all you should focus on. You can't control accidental mishaps, and you will take note of what went wrong and try to rectify it for the next time. By shifting your attention from external validation to internal growth, you develop the courage to speak up despite your fears. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you'll find strength. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true strength lies in recognizing that we have dominion over our minds, not the circumstances that surround us. When we accept this fundamental truth, we unlock the potential to transform fear into courage. Amor fati. Amor fati means the love of fate. It is a concept deeply rooted in the Stoic philosophy. By cultivating amor fati, we can develop courage. Here's how. Number 1. Embracing negative circumstances. Loving negative circumstances does not mean enjoying or seeking out pain and suffering. Instead, it involves accepting them as an essential part of life's tapestry. By recognizing that setbacks, challenges, and hardships are inevitable, we free ourselves from resisting or resenting them. This acceptance allows us to approach negative circumstances with a courageous and proactive mindset. Number 2. Reframing negative circumstances. One way to love a negative circumstance is by reframing it in a more empowering light. For example, if faced with a difficult setback, we can choose to view it as an opportunity for growth and resilience. By reframing the situation as a chance to learn, adapt, and strengthen our character, we transform it into a catalyst for personal development. This reframing empowers us to approach the circumstance with courage and a sense of purpose. Number 3, learning from every situation. Even if we cannot immediately find a way to reframe a negative circumstance, we can still love it by recognizing it as an opportunity to learn and gain wisdom. Every experience, positive or negative, carries valuable lessons that contribute to our personal growth. By embracing this mindset, we develop the courage to face challenging situations, knowing that even in the worst case scenario, there is an opportunity to learn and grow. It's important to note that embracing negative circumstances with amor fati is not masochistic. Stoicism does not advocate seeking out pain or harm. Rather, it encourages us to develop resilience, adaptability, and a deep understanding that life's challenges are inevitable. Epictetus wrote, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will be serene." This quote from Epictetus encapsulates the essence of amor fati. It encourages us to let go of our desires for things to unfold according to our personal wishes, and instead embrace life as it naturally unfolds. By aligning our desires with the reality of the present moment, we cultivate a sense of serenity and acceptance. By loving all circumstances as a chance to grow, we transcend our fear of them and find the courage to navigate through life's ups and downs. Amor fati brings courage because it liberates us from being controlled by external circumstances. It empowers us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, rather than being paralyzed by fear and despair. When we approach life with love and acceptance, including both the positive and negative, we develop the courage to face adversity head on, learning from every situation and growing stronger in the process. Ultimately, amor fati allows us to cultivate a resilient and courageous spirit, embracing the full spectrum of human experiences and finding meaning and purpose even in the most challenging circumstances. It invites us to embrace and love all circumstances, both preferred and unpreferred, recognizing that they are an integral part of our journey. Let's explore the powerful technique of negative visualization. Each morning, take a few moments to vividly imagine things going wrong, experiencing the emotions brewing up inside of you. But here's the crucial part. Remind yourself that these external factors are beyond your control. Take a deep breath and release the tension, accepting that you can only control your response to them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Maya who aspired to become a professional musician. However, she often found herself paralyzed by fear and self-doubt whenever she thought about performing on stage. Seeking guidance, Maya stumbled upon the teachings of Stoicism and discovered the practice of negative visualization. Maya decided to implement this technique into her daily routine. Each morning, she would close her eyes, taking a deep breath and vividly visualizing herself on stage, feeling the nerves creeping in. She imagined the audience's critical gaze and the possibility of making mistakes. The emotions of fear and anxiety welled up inside of her. However, in the midst of this visualization, Maya would remind herself of a quote she'd come across during her Stoic studies from Seneca. "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This quote from Seneca emphasizes that the difficulty of a situation arises not from external circumstances, but from our own hesitation and fears. It suggests that courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the act of pushing through despite our fear. She reflected on the words, understanding that courage was not about eliminating her fears entirely, but rather finding the strength to act despite them. As Maya continued her visualization, she saw herself take a deep breath and consciously shift her focus. She reminded herself that the outcome of her performance was outside of her control. Instead, she chose to focus on her love of music, the hours of practice that she put in, and the joy that sharing her talent could bring to others. Through this practice, Maya gradually developed the courage to step onto the stage. The first few performances were nerve-wracking, and the fear was still present. However, she channeled her Stoic teachings and focused on what she could control: her preparation, her mindset, and her commitment to expressing her passion. With each performance, Maya became more confident. She realized that the negative visualization exercises had helped her confront her fears, accept them as part of the journey, and let go of the need for perfection. She found the courage to face the uncertainty of the stage, knowing that true courage lay in the act of taking the first step, regardless of the outcome. Maya's story exemplifies the Stoic principle of developing courage through negative visualization. By envisioning the challenges she might face, she prepared herself mentally and emotionally. This brings me to the 4 Stoic virtues: courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. Let's explore them a little more. Number 1, courage. As mentioned earlier, courage as a Stoic virtue is not the absence of fear, but doing it despite the fear. Stoics believe that courage arises when we confront our fears and act in accordance with reason and virtue. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and choices, we develop the strength to face challenges head-on, regardless of the outcome. Courage is nurtured through practicing resilience, perseverance, and the willingness to embrace discomfort in pursuit of our ideals. Number 2, temperance. Temperance refers to self-control, moderation, and discipline in managing our desires and emotions. By cultivating temperance, we gain the inner strength to resist impulsive actions driven by fear, anger, or excess. This virtue enables us to respond to challenging situations with composure, patience, and rationality. It allows us to approach difficulties with a clear mind, maintaining our courage in the face of adversity. Number 3, justice. Justice in a Stoic sense involves treating others with fairness, kindness, and empathy. Developing a sense of justice helps us to foster the courage to stand up for what is right and just, even when faced with opposition and adversity. By recognizing the inherent worth and interconnectedness of all beings, we find the moral courage to advocate for justice, equality, and compassion in our interactions with others and society as a whole. Number 4, wisdom. Wisdom is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, guiding us to seek understanding and insight into the nature of the world and ourselves. Developing wisdom involves recognizing the impermanence and unpredictability of external circumstances. By cultivating wisdom, we gain the clarity to differentiate between what we can control and what is beyond our influence. This understanding allows us to direct our energy towards what truly matters and develop the courage to take action in alignment with our values. The development of courage is intrinsically linked to these 4 Stoic values. Stoicism teaches us that courage isn't some elusive quality reserved for the few. It's a power within each of us waiting to be awakened. By focusing on what we can control, accepting what's outside of our control, engaging in regular negative visualization, loving all circumstances regardless of whether they're good or bad, and seeing them as opportunities to learn, we can nurture courage within our hearts. We've explored how Stoicism can help develop courage, and I hope you found these insights as empowering as I do. If you got some value out of this video, how about you smash the like button, as well as subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more videos. Hey, while you're at it, why not share? And also leave a comment down below and let me know how you develop courage in the face of fear. Just so you know, on the top left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a video that I believe you might like. Below that is a video YouTube thinks you might like. And if you look on the right side of the screen, you'll see an image of my head. Now, if you click on that, you'll be able to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.